everyone, how is it going? I hope you're having a wonderful day. In today's episode, we're gonna make this lovely slouchy bag. This bag is obviously from the name has that slouchy look because it's lightweight, and we're gonna use the tapestry fabric for this project. The measurements of this bag is about 15 inches by 12 inches, and it is fully lined with a couple of slip pockets and a zipper pocket inside, and the closure is the magnetic snap closure. So I get this particular fabric from Joann. It was in their remnant section where they sell leftover fabric from the end of the bolt, and it was really discounted. I think I got this for the half of the price. As an alternative, you can also use canvas or denim or heavier weight linen. So I think this is a really fun project for you to try and sew. And as always, if you have any question about this project, I'm here for you. Simply leave me a comment down below. We're gonna get started soon. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and your project turned out great. And without further ado, let's get started. Prepare your main fabric. Depending on the width of your fabric, you will need somewhere between 2/3 and 1 yard of fabric. For the exterior shell, you're gonna need to cut 2 rectangles measuring 18 by 14 inches. For the bottom gusset, you will need to cut a 13 by 5 inch strip. We're going to reinforce the bottom gusset with a fusible fleece, so you will need to cut one a slight smaller, which is 12 by 4 inches. Now go ahead and lay your fusible fleece on the wrong side of your bottom gusset, glue side down, and you want to center that so it will have like 1/2 inch of seam allowance all around. Once you've done that, you want to fold one of the edge widthwise, just like so. Make a little notch on the center point simply by snipping it with your scissors, just like so, and then you want to do the same with the other side. Once you've done that, you want to set this aside, and then we're going to move on and work on the main body of the bag. So lay your front and back exterior shell right side together. Then you want to sew the sides with 1/2 inch of seam allowance. Then you want to take your bottom gusset. Then we're going to attach this to the bottom part of the bag. So your bag should be wrong side out and your bottom gusset should be wrong side up. And you want to match this side seam with the little notch that you created from the bottom gusset, and then go ahead and pin that in place, just like so. And then you want to do the same with the other side and make your way around. And once you've done pinning the bottom gusset in place, go ahead and sew this with 1/2 inch of seam allowance. When sewing this, it may get a little bit challenging when you get to the corner. You just gotta watch out that you don't have any bunching up fabric underneath. So just take your time. And if you want, you can also sew one side at a time rather than pivoting like what I do here. Alright, so here I've got my lining pieces already cut. So you will need to cut 2 strips measuring 18 by 4 inch from the main fabric. And this will be the upper panel of the lining. For the lower panel, you're gonna need to cut 2 rectangles measuring 18 by 11 inch, and I use quilt weight fabric for this, and this will be the bottom gusset, and it measures the same as your main gusset. Lay your upper lining piece and your lower lining piece right side together, just like so. Pin them in place, and then you want to go ahead and sew with 1/2 inch of seam allowance. Once you've done sewing, go ahead and press the seams open. Then you want to do the same with the other side. So here I've got both of my lining pieces already sewn. Now set this aside and we're gonna work on the pockets. These are my zipper pocket pieces and they are measuring 10 inch by 10 inch. And these two will be the slip pockets and they are measuring 9 by 7 inch. Let's work on the zipper pocket first. So here I've got my center fold crease already created by folding this piece in half and pressing it. Draw a 7 by ½ inch rectangle 2 inches away from the top, and obviously you want to make sure that the rectangle is centered. Then you want to draw a line on the center of the rectangle, just like so. Now at the corner here, you want to draw a diagonal line measuring about 3/8 of an inch, just like so. And do the same on the other side. So you're gonna form a little triangle there. Then you want to do the same on the opposite side as well. Then you want to lay this pocket piece on the right side of your lining piece. The pocket should be wrong side up, and you want to lay that 3 inches away from the top. Secure this in place with a couple of pins. Then you want to go ahead and sew on the outline. Then you want to cut the line at the center and the corners as well. So you want to be careful at the corners here, not to cut through the stitches. Once you've done that, you want to turn this to the wrong side. Open the cutting lines and then finger press that little bit. Then go over to your ironing board and give this a quick press. So you're gonna end up with something like this. Now you wanna turn this pocket piece to the wrong side. Smoothen up all the edges and then you wanna go ahead and give this a quick press. Now prepare your zipper. Your zipper should be measuring at least 7 inch, which is the measurement of the template. My zipper is 8 inches long here. And as usual, we're gonna use the basting tape or the quilter's wonder tape to hold the zipper to the lining. If you don't have this, you can also baste this with the hand stitching. Now I want to lay the lining where the zipper template is and align that with the zipper. Then you want to go ahead and sew all along the edges here. And I like to use my walking foot to do this, so I simply move the needle all the way to the left. And I use the edge of my walking foot here as the gauge to keep my stitching line even. You may also use regular presser foot for this. Now you want to turn this piece to the wrong side and then take the other zipper pocket piece and lay that right side down and then sew with 1/2 inch of seam allowance. And that's it, your zipper pocket now already attached. Now let's set this aside and work on the slip pockets. Lay both of your slip pocket pieces right side together, just like so. Pin them in place and you want to sew all around this with 1/2 inch of seam allowance, leaving about 3 inches of opening at the upper top of the pocket. Then you want to cut all the corners. Be careful not to cut through the stitches. Then you want to turn this piece inside out. And I'm going to use my knitting needle to poke all the corners. Then you want to give this a quick press and top stitch the upper part where the opening hole is. And once you've done that, you want to lay the pocket piece on the center of your lining piece, about 5 inches away from the top. Secure that in place with a couple of pins. Then you want to sew the center and then top stitch the side and the bottom as well. And that's it, our slip pocket's already done. Now we're going to work on the magnetic snap. So this is the female part of the magnetic snap, and this one is the male part of the magnetic snap, and these two are the washers. Measure down 2 inches from the upper top of your lining piece, and obviously it should be on the center, and do the same with the wrong side. Now you want to take a scrap of fusible fleece, lay that on top of the mark, glue side down, and go ahead and fuse that in place. And once you've done that, you want to turn this piece to the right side, take one of the washer, and you want to lay the center hole of this washer right on top of the mark, just like so. Then you want to trace the 2 side holes with your fabric marker. Then use your seam ripper to cut those 2 side lines, but be careful not to overdo it. Since this will be the front side of the lining, I'm gonna attach the male magnetic snap. So insert the 2 prongs of your magnetic snap through those side holes. And take one of the washer and insert that through the prongs, just like so, and use your thumbs to push these prongs to the side. You may also use pliers instead. And that's it, guys. Now go ahead and do the same with the other one. Alright, so now all the pieces are ready to go. Go ahead and assemble this exactly the same way you assemble the exterior shell. Next, we're going to work on the strap. So you want to cut a strip measuring 34 inch by 5.5 inch. The length of the strap can be adjusted according to your liking, so feel free to do so. Now with the right side facing up, you're gonna fold this strap in half, just like so, and sew along the edges with 1/2 inch of seam allowance. Then you wanna go ahead and turn this piece inside out. Then you want to fold the raw edges here towards the inside, about 1/2 inch. Then you want to take a couple of fabric clips and secure this in place. And you want to do the same with the other end as well. Once you've done that, go ahead and top stitch all around. I recommend to change your needle to a size larger, so I've been using the universal 90/14 size needle. Now I'm changing it to the denim size needle or 116 size needle. Since we're going to sew some bulky part and we're starting off from the edge here, you want to take a scrap of your main fabric and fold that twice. Place it at the back of your presser foot next to your strap. This will help to stabilize your presser foot, so you won't have problem with your needle bunching up. Once you've got your strap sewn, we're gonna go ahead and attach this strap to the exterior shell of the back. Measure down 4.5 inches from the top of one of the side of the back. Then you want to put a little mark there. Then you want to take one of the end of your strap and align that with the mark that you just made. And you want to position your strap right on the center where the side seam is, just like what I'm showing you here. Then I want to draw a rectangle about 3 inches from the end of my strap. Then I'm going to follow the top stitching lines, just like so. I'm going to secure this strap in place with a couple of pins. Then we're going to sew following this rectangle shape and make a cross on the diagonal angle. I highly recommend you use your walking foot for this. It's just a lot easier when you're sewing through layers of fabric. So you want to first sew the rectangle lines, and once you've done that, you want to go ahead and sew the diagonal line. And don't hesitate to pivot and re-sew the lines that you've already sewn to get to the diagonal angle. It's even better because it's going to add extra bond to your strap. So here I've got both sides of my straps already sewn. Now we're gonna move on and do the final assembling for this bag. So you wanna have your exterior shell right side out and the lining piece wrong side out. Insert your exterior shell into the lining. So you wanna make sure that the right side of your lining is touching the right side of your exterior shell. Then you want to use your fabric clips or pins to secure this in place, and you want to leave about 4 inches of opening to turn this back inside out. Then go ahead and sew all around with half an inch of seam allowance. And once you've done sewing, go ahead and turn this back inside out through the opening hole. I use my Hera marker to neaten the edges. You can also use your iron on low setting. Now we're going to hand sew the opening hole. So we're gonna use blind stitch or slip stitch to do this. So first you wanna insert your needle through the fold from the wrong side, just like so. This will hide your knot. Then you want to insert your needle into the fold line of the opposite fabric, pass a small distance and go back out. So basically you want to keep stitching until you close the hole. Now you want to go ahead and neaten up the edges again. And that's all I have for you today, guys. Thumbs up if you like this tutorial, and I shall see you next time with another fun sewing project. Goodbye!